Welcome back to Inside the Swing. I'm Jeremy Lee.
Matt Vick. Good to see y'all again.
Well, today we are going to go back to an old review we did. Blue
another
brick.
crack at it, Jeremy?
I need another crack at it. I got a little bit of haters on the first time around, and a lot of it is one, I completely misjudged the weight of this, like way off. I was not even close. I was like 18 or 19 pounds over. So I tell people maybe I had a weak hand day that day. I don't know what happened. But today we're going to be a little bit more detailed. The last time I did this, I literally got it that day, just threw it into a review. I probably should have done a little bit better job of dissecting it. But we're going to do that today. And we're going to try to do a little bit more detail oriented on the review. Really compare it to the numbers of TrackMan and see if it actually makes us do what it claims it's going to do. And then that way you guys are going to have a much more informative review to make the judgment to whether you want to spend the big number to buy this thing.
So QR code on the front of the blue brick. There's a lot of information at bluebrick.com, which is where we went to get an idea of how to set up what we're going to show you today, and drills to do and everything like that. That part is available to the public without a purchase.
Yeah, absolutely. And really what you can do is, I mean, they are obviously the experts on it. So they're going to have, tutorials on how to set up each thing, but we're going to try to kind of walk you through that as well. But that is a really great little QR code there, because it goes right to where you need to go. And it goes through every single one of the options that we're going to show you today. But we have TrackMan, and we're going to test the numbers to see if it actually helps us swing from the inside.
Love it.
Which is going to be a lot of fun. Hefty price. I will mention that again. $130 for this bad boy. I do believe that the reason that the price is the way the price is because it's pretty much a one-time buy.
Yeah.
I don't think you're going to break this. And I think it's just going to be there for a while. You may lose it, but you're not going to break it. Now, however, I will say that over the course of using this since our last review, I have broken the rods. And although they do heavily say use noodles, unfortunately, some of my students have clipped it, and it's actually not even the rod. It's the one that they send you. It breaks down, and so the connection point is actually what breaks. So we just went to Lowe's, bought $2 sticks, which are fantastic and never break because you can pretty much whip them all you want to. And but you can still damage your club, so be careful on that. I do highly recommend. I would actually not use a pool noodle. I would probably go get, because pool noodles are pretty thick, and I feel like it's going to change a little bit of the alignment. Because when you think about a pool noodle on there, it's pretty decent size.
Even the thin ones, even the little pool noodles?
Well, I guess you could do that. Or you could go get some like pipe insulation tubing that's going to, it's still padded, but it's a lot smaller. And that's only like an inch. And I think that would actually be better personally. And I think that's probably what we'll end up investing in. So unfortunately, we just continue to risk it and don't use that. But it gets us a little bit more forceful to get our students to the inside like it's claiming.
Always use protection kits.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So this is what we're going to do. So we are going to start off with, and what's cool is we actually added a camera above. So what we'll do is you guys can, from above, you're going to be able to see what's happening. Obviously, we have our shallowing. So we have sand wedge, we have 6-iron, we have driver. This is the QR code that Matt was talking about. And then we have square divots and angle of attack. We'll go through those. Launch angle, wedge launch angle. A little bit different. It took me a second to really understand what that was, but we'll go through that. Inside swing, pretty much the whole thing behind this is to swing from the inside. And shallowing out your club is...
I would say, given that they say over 90% of golfers swing out to in. It's a pretty good reason to have a product.
Exactly, makes sense. So you have 3 alignment rod sections. One's here, that's basically for finding an alignment on from front to back or middle of stance, basically figure out where your alignment is. And then you also have your 2 alignments here, and then you have a shallowing. The shallowing is basically where you align the front of you align your ball based on this rod, which then puts you in a good position for these 3 back here. We're going to start today with inserting 1 into the alignment, or sorry, into the shallowing. And then we're going to take our second one. We're going to throw it right into the sand wedge. So that's where we're going to start. And then obviously we're going to be dead center off of this line here. And that's how we're going to run our TrackMan numbers. And so what it tells us to do is we're going to sit this behind it. And then what we're going to do is we're going to come 2 club lengths off, which is about center for us. And what the goal is as Matt said, most people come over the top and don't start with the hips first and shallow out that club. And so that's what we're going to see. We're going to test to see how those numbers look on TrackMan.
So ball placement, 2 club head lengths inside the line.
Yep.
And then how far up does the ball go? How did you
Yeah,
determine?
just about, I believe it said about 8 inches inside is basically where it wants. And the reason I think that it's wanting you to do that is, 1, we want to be careful on where the club hits. And 2 is, as you're coming in and you shallow properly, you're going to come right to the inside of that. All right, so 2 club lengths. Obviously, when we
2
take
2 club
heads, yes.
widths from the.
Yep.
There you go.
Now, the better player you are, the closer you can get to this stick. But right now, just for demonstration purposes, so as we're coming back, we want to make sure our hand doesn't hit. Plenty of clearance. And I'm actually going to move it back just slightly, just to make sure we have a good clearance there and we're coming down from the inside. All right, so based on this tells us that it's going to help us shallow it out and come a little bit more solid contact, keeping that basically lower through the shot, keeping your hands lower through the shot, correct? Not necessarily from the inside, but I guess it would make it from the inside, but we'll just kind of test out and see where we're at. Okay. All right, that's pretty good. 0 path there. So that's very nice.
You almost got the 0-0, Jeremy. That was awesome.
The double zero.
Really close.
And as you can see, it's going to be very hard for me to come over the top. Well, I mean, I technically could come over the top, but I would really have to and I think that's really why they want you a little bit further out, is get your club head a little bit closer. That way we know if we hit that, then we're going to be in a bad position. But if we come down, just shallowing out the club a little bit, more on that angle, we should be in a good spot. Oh, I clipped it. Did you hear it clip?
You did clip it.
All right, and as you can see, I was -2. So I do like it. I did move it back the first time, but getting it more towards the end is what they suggest. So we're going to move that back just a touch. We're just going to test it out a little bit. So it's saying there. We're going to be really close to it now. So here. And go right down the path. Now that showed a little bit of a negative path. So TrackMan measures their path 6 inches, 6 inches.
Okay.
So if you're going to set this up and you're going to use it with a TrackMan, or not even with a TrackMan, I think a little bit closer to you, I like better. So I think it still works fine longer, but as you can see, the further away, it was easier for me to go a negative path. created a little bit more space because I was already past and I could actually still manipulate that club.
Makes sense.
So I actually like it a little bit closer, and then that will give you a little bit more of a positive path. Yeah, see, I could still go slightly negative. So I'm going to try to get just a touch closer.
Inside that 1 degree, not too bad though.
So basically one club head away. Let's see how that works. Yeah, look at that. Just beautiful. So keeping you in that 1 degree, in which I'm a +1 or a +2, -2 guy. Anywhere in the +1 or +2 or -2 on TrackMan on club path, you're not missing very much.
So after you nicked it that one time, are you nervous?
No, I'm not nervous. I just barely touched it.
Okay.
I just barely touched it. All right, so that was with sand wedge.
All right.
So although
iron,
you can still get negative, I think the closer you get to this, actually the better. Now that I'm really doing it myself. So my hands are much closer. So I'm going to do it based on my grip. So I'm going to set that up to where my grip is just to the inside of that.
For safety reasons, you don't want it where you would hit your hands on the stick. That would be very dangerous.
Yeah, no, that would hurt. And you would not want anything like that. So, and obviously the longer the club, the better off we are, or the further away it's going to be. So now let's take it. This is 6 iron. Oh, a little toey on that one. So again, negative path. I'm going to move it in just slightly. So I would be in a little bit of a disagreement. Now I got to make sure that we're straight too, because remember, the one thing I did not check before we started is alignment with the TrackMan line. As you guys can see this TrackMan line. So that should be good. So that will be a square. If I hit this thing square, it's going to be square to that line or parallel to that line. Yep, so good. Okay.
Woo.
All right, so still 0 path.
0.0.
So from a down the line perspective, Matt, I feel really good. Now I tend to like to kind of go a little bit more left. So it feels like I'm not turning as much, but even if I'm turning, getting it a little bit in from the inside is not a terrible. That's the old Nicholas way, the old inside the path. That's better. Yeah, look at that. Now I still got negative, which is interesting. So, but to be fair, they're not claiming that you can't go left. They're just claiming that it's going to be shallowing the club to get a better strike.
That's right.
And fairly get in a more square club face.
And essentially, it's just simple physics, right? So the blue brick is putting in position what teachers have done for years. It's just making it easy for you to use.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And convenience-wise, super easy. You're not trying to, especially if you're outside, you're not trying to stick it in at a certain angle and trying to figure it all out. Yeah. It's already preset. And that's where the engineering comes from. That's where the cost of it comes from. Now, the weight of it is heavy enough. It's 2 to 3 pounds. I think it's somewhere right in there. Forget what I said on my first video. So if you see that, don't even bother commenting because I know I was completely off that day. So apologies for that. But again, I really do like the feeling of coming here, and then I'm going to go left. And it takes some getting used to because you think you're going to be too much. Is my only question is, does it make you feel go too much from the inside? But obviously It doesn't, because look what's happening. I still have a negative path there. We'll take one more with the 6-iron.
.0.
And then beautiful.
Never seen you hit so many zeros.
That's pretty amazing, right?
All right, so I'm going to hand you the driver here, Jeremy.
All right. I would love for you to jump on here, Matt, because you swing.
I'm not doing it. We don't need that today.
All right.
So to hit the driver, we're going to move this to the driver slot.
Yep. Now I'm going to be the first
Look
to
at
set.
that. Look how flat that is compared to the 6-iron and the wedge. So the
Yeah.
wedge is here. 6-iron, you can tell a little bit of a difference. When I hit that driver, man, it really goes flat.
Whew, that's scary. All right, but I'm going to get this a little bit further away just so I compensate for the wall. And my squares, if you're looking from up top, is parallel right with that line. So I'm going to move my ball over slightly. And so now it's going to be a little bit different. And so really, if you think about that, look at that. So if you're a big hand thrower, I would definitely get noodles. Noodles will save your club.
Noodles anyway.
But really what we teach here at 24 Golf is we want to come in to this position. We want to get you to this position, and then it's just a turn of a left. And that should square you nice and beautifully. So, all right. Moment of truth. Moment of truth. It does make me a little nervous because that thing is very low. I got to get used to that. Okay. Yeah, so a little hooky. And that's just because I didn't trust it.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I didn't trust it.
I was going to say, that's probably hard to trust the first one.
Yeah, that was nervous. I was nervous. I was nervous.
A little flippy.
Now, I'm only one, to be fair, I'm only one club head away from that stick.
Well, no, he said two club
and he said two clubs in the tutorial to start, to get used to it.
I'd go 3. For myself,
really try to
make sure.
feel. That time I left my face open.
But the path, look at the path.
Oh, I did get a positive path there. Numbers look good. All right, we'll hit one more. Then we'll dive into what else the blue brick does for you. All right, let's see if I can end on a good one. So plus, but still, look at that. I mean, if you're anywhere from 2 to 2, I mean, this is phenomenal. I mean, you're going to get used to this. This is going to be a lot easier to use the more you use it. And it's going to get you into a better position. Oof.
Again, it's working on path. So
Definitely working on path. I just got to get used to that face. All right, I can't end on that one because that feels... All right. From a feeling standpoint, I do feel like I'm holding back because I'm scared to hit that. I'm scared to hit it. So I need to really just have confidence in my normal swing. Because look, I'm still 6 or 8 inches from that stick.
you've got room whether you think you do or not.
Exactly. I flipped it again.
But that path, I've never seen you hit zeros on club path that many times.
Isn't that wild? So from that standpoint, you have to get used to the face because you feel like you're going to hit it. I mean, I'm feeling like I'm going to hit it a mile to the right, and I think that's probably why I'm flipping it. But you're not. I mean, look at that path. I mean, if you're turning nicely, coming from the inside. Oh, will you shake the mouse for me? All right, let's see how this does. All right, much better there. Now that one didn't capture my club path.
We know from looks of the numbers that it was certainly in to out because your ball started right at target.
And it was yeah, and I would guess I was probably like a +2 because we did have some curve. We did have some curve on that one. So overall, from the major, what would we call this? We would call the word that I'm looking for is their claims. The claim of actually shallowing the club, 100% I believe that it does the same thing. I want to do one more ball though before I get off this, but I'm going to move it out. I'm going to move it out just slightly, just so I feel a little bit more comfortable. So we're going to move it to the two clubs from what it said. I don't know if you can see from above. 1, 2. And I can already tell I feel a lot more freedom with that. But it still gives me the I'm not going to stay behind it. Or I'm not going to get over top of it.
Visually and mentally, that thing just being there has to.
It just keeps you underneath.
Yeah.
But I think when you do get too close to it, you tend to kind of hold back on it.
Sure.
So getting it set up properly, I'm just curious of the two
until you get comfortable.
Make a huge difference.
Well, it sounded good.
So it went much further left on that one. Interesting there. Let's try it one more time. Open face. There it is. That was better. Woo, not a good spin rate though. I spun that thing off the planet. All right, let's do one more before we end on the driver. So I don't love it at 2 clubs. So can we move that back to maybe 1.5? And I'm about, if you can see from up top, I'm about 12 inches back. That was better.
There, you're back to 0.
Yeah, so on driver, if you're going to set this up, I'm going to say 2 clubs is too much. 1.5 clubs is just right. But if you're really struggling, go back to that 1 club. And that's going to really help just kind of get you used to it. Maybe take 3/4 swings, half swings. And but from a club pass perspective, I mean, there's no doubt about that.
I think it's working wonders, man. I think it's working wonders.
Wonders.
So the wedge. So the wedge launch angle is probably the, I would say, just kind of the simplest thing, but kind of a neat feature, I guess. Did you say that?
Yeah.
I mean, it's real simple. I'm going to show you just real quick how to set it up. It's not complicated really at all of kind of what it does. Not very technical. We take two sticks worth of length and then place the brick so that it's 8 inches inside the second stick measurement. And then quite simply put the stick in directly in line down the target line. And we have a stick in front of us.
Okay.
And the idea here is this is the perfect angle for launching the wedge. The wedge should launch just under the tip of the stick.
Yeah, so this is kind of, so the ones that we bought from Lowe's, this is kind of like Go Zone. If you can get it passing in the white, that's pretty much optimum.
Online, the instructor that was going through the drills said that he finds that most of the time, if not mostly all the time, people don't hit it too low. So really, this is just a drill for most people. They're launching a little too high. It's going to teach you how to drive your wedges.
Yep. Now on setup, were we supposed to start the alignment on the ball or outside the ball? Because 8 inches, that looks like it's dead in line with my ball. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's supposed to be.
Okay, so it's supposed to be dead in line. So not only are we kind of seeing, are we going to start to the right or the left of this line, but we're going to also check height.
Yeah, the point is the height of the launch, and you will hit the stick.
And you can hit the stick.
You can hit the stick.
All right, so let's just see where my launch angle is, and we'll see it. How do we have launch angle? Let's put launch angle up there on the screen. So we'll put launch angle up on the screen. 324, 17.5. We'll take it all day, right? With 2,300 spin. All right, so this is sand wedge, and this is. Are we hitting it on the right trajectory? Are we opening our sand wedges too high? Are we creating too much loft, launching it too high? Are we creating too much square and you're launching it too low? You know, basically, is our hands way out in front of us or ball position wrong? So we're just going to go center ball position. And we're going to just try to see if this works. So just slightly open.
I can confirm that was just underneath the tip. That's, according to Blue Brick, that was an acceptable launch angle for your wedge.
And 30-degree, 28-degree launch. And that's what he said. It was about a 30-degree launch. If you watch the video from Blue Brick, they say this is 30 degrees. And that would be 28.3 degrees. So obviously when you're in here, you don't need to do that. You can just go by TrackMan numbers. So this one doesn't really have as much use for you indoors, but if you put this on the range, it's really good.
Sure.
Now, range guys might not like you going in front of the range, but you'll figure that part out. All right, so we'll just do one more just to confirm.
I'm guessing 27. Oh, 29. That was close.
29. All right, 28.8.
28.8. It was definitely below the top of the stick again. So, I mean, jury says it does what it says it's supposed to do.
It does what it says it's supposed to do?
Like
okay. All right, so next one, since we got a wedge in our hand, and you'll be able to see from top down really on this, is we're going to set this up with our wedge impact angle. So I'm going to put this right in the center, right? We talked about center. Basically lining it up right on the line.
Right on the center line.
Right on the center line, which it has nice and easy to see. And then what the goal is here, so many of us throw our hands at the ball. And that is definitely not, I mean, you can get away with that with the longer clubs, or you cannot get away with that with wedges. That's where you got your skinnies. Hitting skinnies or burying it too low behind it, hitting fat shots.
Scoopy.
It's like Scooby. All right.
You hit elephant butt wedges, high and stinky.
Yep. So then so our goal is to get to that angle right there.
Now, Jeremy, I would imagine that after I see you hit this, based on the fact that we saw your wedge launch kind of in the range that we expect, I bet if we freeze this at impact, I bet your shaft angle is pretty darn good. That'd be my guess.
Yeah,
that's what it should say anyway.
And I actually really like, there's two things I love about this. One, it's tremendous to have that visual to get your hands in front. And this is really for all irons. I mean, really technically for driver too, but not as much for driver. But the other thing that I love is it keeps you not doing this. You're not going to hit into that stick. So getting it really getting used to, as I'm turning my body, my hands are not hitting that stick, which I love.
I would say for this is sort of like an impact bag.
Yeah,
without
absolutely.
the impact bag.
Yeah, exactly, without the impact. All right, let's see what we do. And look at that.
I saw you exaggerate your launch angle a little bit.
I did exaggerate. I felt like I did. I felt like I was trying to push it because it feels, I mean, when you're standing over this thing, if you're looking from the top down, that thing feels like it's, you feel like you're like this.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what it feels like.
And where I got that idea was that your launch angle actually for this wedge went down from where it was on our previous drill.
Yeah, it went down by 1 degree.
Went by 1.4 degrees, to be honest.
Okay.
And so it tells me that you're really focusing on leading with those hands this way.
Yep. I got really strong where I didn't need to do that. As I turn, the butt of that club is going to work back to that pocket, and that should be plenty, even though it looks way more than that. But that's exactly what we're trying to do on the wedge. So center stance, leaning forward. Just barely grazed it with my forearms, which I love.
Again, 27.8.
Yep. All right.
That's good. Good mash.
Yep.
Good mash there.
And what's our attack angle? Look at our attack angle, though. You would think that you're going to be so steep on that, but you're not. It's just normal. It's just where you should be, not where you're not in excess in anything with
Getting
this.
your hands in a better position,
Yeah.
not necessarily. Get
This
that
is
shaft,
probably
get that mash, get that good contact.
Yeah, I think overall, since I've been using the blue brick with some of my students, this has probably been my favorite thing about this. Just the angle that it is, just the visual, because so many people like to throw their hands. When I say throw my hands, I'm throwing my hands like this. It's the worst thing that you can do. And if you think about it, if I already have this in position, right? This is basically 6. All I'm doing is turning. Look at that.
Yep.
It's perfect, right? Perfect angle. All right, we'll do one more of these just to confirm. I'm going to move it out just so I don't hit that. I can feel like I'm going. Let's just see how we do. A little bit skinny on that. Launch angle was good, but it turned really hard with that one. So that's just face, closing the face a little bit. Try that one more time. Oh, that's the best one I've hit right there. That was dead center. Felt amazing.
27.5 launch it.
And I actually like that negative path on a wedge because I'm already set left. So having just a touch creates a little bit better spin on the greens versus a draw where it can kind of roll out and get a little crazy on the greens. Just a nice high launch, lots of spin.
Hey, with the blue brick, I guess if the club path gets 2 left, you just swap drills real easy and go back to the club path drill.
Yep.
I mean, it's that simple, right?
Now, I will say, I had a lot of people ask us is if we can do lefties. And this is the only part that I don't think we can do a lefty. I got to think about that. This is the only one that lefty would not work.
Otherwise, it's ambidextrous.
Am I right on that?
There are protocols online for left-handed golfers.
I'm analyzing that. There's no way to turn it. So if I was going to go lefty, no, it would be backwards.
Mm-mm.
It would be backwards.
It would have to go that way, and it does not go that way.
All right, so this is, now that I say that, so if you're looking from up top, they should improve this. This is my one criticism, actually second criticism, because my first rod's broke, which to be fair, they do tell you to put a noodle on it, but who wants to drag around a noodle too? because they do make it convenient. It breaks down and it's nice and broke down. But they could sell it without rods and say just use your alignment rods.
Sure.
But they should add one for a lefty there. They should do that almost meeting in the middle. And if they just did that one thing, it would work both ways for all parameters. So that would be my one. So for lefties out there, that is the one that, as of right now, I don't think there's any other ones that would cause that. No, just that one. That's the only negative to this product is it should be both. It should have another slot for a lefty, and just mark it for a lefty. They always feel so discriminated against. They're discriminating. No, I'm just messing. All right. So let's go. Let's see where we're at. So we are now at shallowing. Shallowing the club. No, sorry, not shallowing. We are at inside swing. So inside swing, if you're looking from up top again, we're going to put this in like this. And most people would think it would be this way because we're swinging back this way, but it's actually the opposite, right?
Right.
All right, so walk us through, Matt. How are we setting this up?
So the inside swing is a pretty simple setup again, as everything is with the Blue Brick. This is going to go directly down your target line and directly at your target line. I'll just make sure that we get this here.
Okay.
And then the ball placement is going to be simply right in here.
Oh, so dead under it. Yep. So
and it's going to go dead under it. You'll notice the shadow. We have a light that is directly above it, so that's how we know it is directly under it.
Love that. So then now this is really promoting lagging with that club. We never want to throw the club. We want to turn and feel like it's creating pressure here. Are we on agreements there?
Yeah, makes
Feeling
sense.
that pressure. Which, if you feel that pressure, look what it does with your wrists. It actually puts them perfect exactly where you want them to be. So let's try this.
Look at that path. So that's the most positive club path you've had.
That is the most positive club path I've had.
And by positive, we mean from the inside.
Yeah, from the inside. So this one's almost
why do you
impossible.
think, from a feel standpoint, why do you think that is? Is that one scarier?
Oh, it definitely, because man, some people would be way the heck out here.
I mean, it looks to me like standing over there. It looks to me like you feel like you really feel like you're going to hit this one.
Yeah.
Don't you?
Yeah, look at that.
Unless you're not careful.
Yeah, you really have to come from the inside on this.
Yeah.
So, especially being right underneath it. Now, I do believe that it did have us come back a little bit, so I may have had that a little tight.
Well, it's called inside swing for a reason, I guess.
So let's just see where that zero is. So this is about, what do you call that, 8 inches?
Yeah.
All right, so let's try 8 inches back. That's a pretty good launch angle based on what we talked about before. Now, it didn't capture it, but we know based on the flight, it was perfect, right?
Started, I bet, 0.2 to the positive, so mission accomplished.
Yeah, so if you're really struggling with inside, you could just move it back and just take some half swings, and that'll really get you moving inside.
Yeah.
But if you're really trying to square it and you're not trying to just have a negative, because remember, my normal swing was about a -1.2, -1.5.
With a wedge, yeah.
With a wedge. Beautiful.
Wow.
That's pretty good. So, I mean, just that little adjustment there, caught that front of that a little bit. That little adjustment there made me change my path almost 1 degree. So you can, the more you're struggling with it, the further back you can put it and really feel like you're coming from the inside. Or the more square you're wanting to get, just kind of move it out towards the end, which is awesome. And like I said, in the first time around that we did this, I love this tool because of its convenience.
Yeah.
Because of its engineering, it's already put in
The angles are already there.
Yes, I really do. All right, so the last one that we're going to do, looking from above, is we're going to do angle of attack. You can use it for square divots, but I think it's better to use it for angle of attack. So this one is going to be a little different. Matt, you got your other one? Yep, right there. We're going to put this back down the middle. As you can see from above, try to square them up.
This one looks pretty simple as well, Jeremy.
Yeah, this is just simple. Now, you go to the range and they ask, you know, how to hit effectively, how to damage the turf the least. And this is basically what tour pros do. They're hitting, they move it back to just one. They hit, they move it back to just one. And it's just a perfectly square divot and right in a straight line. But what they're trying to do is they're trying to get you to square it perpendicular to that side. But it's also doing angle of attack. So if you're coming in too shallow, or sorry, not too shallow, but you're basically coming in too steep and you throw your hands, then you're probably going to clip that. So it's like a slightly downward angle. Do you remember the degree? Well, we'll just test it. So
your wedges have been -3.5.
-3.5. So I'm going to move this, and if you look at it from above, you can see that it's at the very top of the blue brick, and the blue brick's about 1 inch. So it has some degree of slope to it. And so it's going to naturally come down. And so let's just see. So we're about, what do you think, 12 inches?
You got it.
So we're at 12 inches. And let's just see where we're at on this one.
Four 6.
Now we will take that every time. That felt amazing just to feel that coming
this
through.
would also obviously reinforce club path. I mean, the same way if you use this as a putting aid, it's simply a track, right? You're just your path down the middle. Right?
Yes.
That makes sense.
And I actually really love it. So, I mean, obviously we're going to be square. Look at that club path. Square, you're just bringing the club path right down the middle of it. And that's going to get you really hitting that ball nice and square to your target line. All right, so a little pull. So that one did allow me to pull.
It's really pushing the attack angle, though.
Yeah, look at that attack angle. So what if we went, I'm just curious if we go a little bit further back, if it makes me come in a little bit steeper.
It looked like it. Oh, yeah, 6'8".
Yeah, 6'8". All right, so if we're going to move it, so let's just move it back, Matt. We're going to move it back to where it's right at the front of the mat. I'm going to square it right in the middle. And then we're going to have this thing. I feel like we're left, don't you? There we go. So now we're going to just take a normal shot.
.8.
Yeah.
So every single one, no matter how high, it is definitely making you swing a little bit steeper.
Yep. But it's still keeping you fairly square.
Yeah.
So it really does work what it says it's working. It's super easy tool. You can keep it in your bag. Again, not 20 pounds, less than 3 pounds. You already have alignment rods in your bag, most likely. So you can use those. I personally don't think that you need the noodles if you're working on it on a regular basis. But at the end of the day, outside of the left, if you can see us from above, Outside of that left, they just had to make that wedge angle, wedge impact position. They could have simply added another one for a left-handed player and moved that more into the center. Or even put it down here. They could have put it in a number of different places. Mm-hmm. And then that way it would have been universal for both right and left-handed players. So outside of that, I'm going to stick with my original review with, this is a phenomenal product. It's expensive, 130 bucks. It's well built though. And I don't think you're ever going to have to buy another one. I don't see you breaking this unless you hit it. Maybe you could break that plastic. But again, you're going to break the club probably.
You should never hit there. We haven't seen a drill yet where you should hit the brick.
Yeah, you wouldn't even come
on
close.
Your worst. You're hitting the sticks.
Yeah.
And as you said, the alignment sticks that come with it, you can break those.
Yes.
You can break these. You can certainly break the alignment sticks.
I agree.
That can happen, right? But you can replace them with $2 Lowe's and a foam roller or foam pool noodle or whatever.
I agree. But if you're really struggling with over the top, this will be a phenomenal tool for you. I mean, if you can look at my numbers, I didn't vary too much at all.
As instructors, we're always looking for drills and ways to reinforce proper swing plane and everything, and this kind of does it all. It's a one-stop shop.
Yep.
And it's remarkable that it even gives you 3 different clubs.
Yes.
Sand wedge, the 6-iron, and the driver.
Yeah, and I think you can use other irons. You could use anywhere from a 9-iron, probably up to a pitching wedge with the shallow, or with the sand wedge. You could use up to like maybe a 9 through 5 iron with the 9 through 4 iron with the 6-iron, and then obviously any of your woods with the driver. I think you're going to be fine. I don't think you're going to run into any issues. But overall, it does have our approval. We do believe in this product. We use it on a regular basis with our students. And but again, the only criticism I would have is we would add the left-handed wedge impact, which is one of the most important things of this tool. One of my favorite things about this tool is getting you leading with the hands. And I think you guys are going to have a lot of success with it. Again, we bought this with our own money. As you know from our the first review, I made a lot of mistakes in that first review, and so I wanted to redeem and let you see some shots and let you see some numbers. And appreciate Matt, you sticking around with me on this one.
Yeah, from what I can tell, it does what it says it's supposed to do.
Does what it says it's supposed to do. So if you want to learn more about Blue Brick Golf or Blue Brick, you just go to bluebrickgolf.com. Again, we have no affiliation with this product at all. There's no QR code or any promo code to use, but we do believe in it. And
purely independent review.
Yep, and hopefully you guys see a lot of success. But please comment, subscribe to our channel. It helps us grow the channel. And then also let us know how you did. If you went out and bought one, tell us what you like about it. Tell us what you don't like about it. And if there's anything that you found that we missed, that you say, hey, no, you want us to test out to see if it works, hey, we'll do it. We'll do it in a heartbeat.
Add it to the comments. It helps everybody that stops by and gives some ideas for our next product review.
Yeah, absolutely. So thanks as always for watching. Make sure to go out and subscribe and follow. But until next time, I'm Jeremy Lee.
Matt Vick.
We will see you on the tee. Take care.